Hey everybody, Johnny G here on a beautiful fall day. Um, this YouTube video is going to be kind of honoring a friend of mine. We had a sad day yesterday. We found a good friend of mine named Craig Johnson passed away suddenly while he was traveling on business for the company that he and I had worked for many years. Um, and y'all can see Bailey behind me. Bailey's out here keeping me company today. She's checking out squirrels. But Craig was a great guy, and he and I worked together. I guess technically, when he first came to the company, I was told that he reported to me. And Craig was a veteran of our industry, and I never felt like he should report to me. So we kind of made an agreement on the first few days that he took over the part of the company that he needed to run, and he and I would just work together as teammates and try to do the best we could. And I never felt like he was an employee of mine. He was a friend and a coworker, and I learned a ton from him about the networking industry, the communications industry, and just how he did business development and sales was a great learning experience for me. And I hope maybe he learned some stuff from me too. But when you travel with people constantly on business, you kind of get to know them. And Craig was a guy that he was an open book, and he was a rare creature in that he loved, like me, loved to tell stories. I told a friend of mine yesterday, I said, I grew up in the small town of Walhalla, South Carolina, and Craig grew up here in Greer, South Carolina, and felt like we understood each other because we were just both small town guys that ended up working for a big company traveling around the country. And but we shared a love of people and the way we wanted to treat our customers as friends and as colleagues and as partners, not as just someone that bought equipment from us. And that was unique, and it gave him a special place with our partners. They loved him, they respected him, they called on him for advice, for opinions, and he did great at that. And over the years, I got to know his family, got to know Becky and Taylor and Haley, and watch them grow up and hear Craig talk about them almost on a daily basis, how proud he was of them. And Haley with her school and just growing up as a beautiful young lady, and Taylor, as a good young man, but also an athlete. He loved watching Taylor play ball, and they followed him around at football in high school and baseball, and then later baseball in college, and even semi-pro. And he was proud of both of them for the young adults they've become. He loved Becky. He took care of her when she needed him. He took care of his family. He was always doing for his mom and dad and others, and I respected him for that. I learned a lot watching Craig about being selfless, and as an only child, sometimes I get a selfish streak in me, and I want to do things my way, and Craig was always giving. We didn't have a perfect relationship. I'm making him sound out like he was some kind of saint. He wasn't, and I wasn't, and I'm not. And we shared a lot of funny stories on the road, things that would happen, and we would just chuckle about them, or people we would meet and compare notes about. And I could sit here and tell stories just over and over and over again. But one of them was that Craig loved to give nicknames to everybody on our team. It was something that he and I just kind of started and talked about early on. And one of the first nicknames he gave was he started calling me Fuzzy, because before I started shaving my head, I had kind of short hair. I was in bald denial, I call it, but he started calling me Fuzzy, and he had a nickname for everybody on the team, and some of them were quite funny, and some of them were appreciated by the people, and maybe some of them weren't, but they all loved having their nickname, and it was kind of a badge of honor that you've been given a nickname by Craig, and that's what he was going to call you. And Craig always was trying to pull something on me. And I used to tell him that the first words out of his mouth I'd never believe, because there was always a punchline, or either there was something that he was trying to get me to bite on, and then he would just laugh and say, "No, that's not true." And we shared those stories all the time. And one of them that I remembered yesterday is that he would always call me old man, and I would say, "Oh man, my foot." I said, "You're the same age as I am." And he would say, "No, no, no." I said, "Give me your driver's license." "No, I'm not going to show you my driver's license." But I know he was the same age, and we would laugh about that, and he always thought he was younger. And but he always brought a smile to work. And one day we were standing outside my office, and these vendors gave us these little rubber balls, and he and I were zipping this little rubber ball late on a Friday afternoon, kind of pitching it back and forth to each other down the cube hall in our office building. and just talking about the week and talking about things, and just having some time. And he reared back and zipped one at me, and I caught it, and I reared back like I was some kind of major league pitcher, and I started to zip one to him. And about that time, an employee, a lady named Kim, and Kim stepped out from between the cubes, and this little rubber ball that I threw just cocked her in the side of the head. And Kim was great at cutting up with everybody else, but she gave me a look, and she never stopped walking, went on over to the copier and did her business, turned around and walked back. Craig looked at me and he says, "I think you're done. I think they're going to fire you for striking an employee with a rubber ball." And I was sitting there going, dang, he may be right. I may get in trouble about this. And I said, "Kim, are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, but I will get you back." And then Craig just busted out laughing because he'd gotten me worried about that. But we shared a lot of stories, and I sure do miss him. It was a great testament to see phone calls and notes from friends and partners and employees and people in the community that we know. And so we're going to love on his family. We're going to tell stories. We're all going to get together one night and share those stories. So I'm not sure if I'll post this or not, but if it ends up on YouTube, pray for Becky, Taylor, and Haley, that they will remember their father and their husband with laughter and with great memories, and that we'll always tell stories about Craig Johnson. And Craig, I know that you're a believer, and you're up in heaven, and you're with our former boss, JB, and I hope your golf swing improves in heaven, because you can't be angry in heaven. I always said Craig had an angry golf swing. He would attack the earth with his golf club. But I know he's in a better place, and all that stress of work and doing for others is gone, and he's at peace. And we praise God for that. And I'll miss him, but I will always have great memories. And for those of you that see this or listen to this, you never know, because Craig died very suddenly. And I know his family knew he loved him. I know he told them all the time. So we need to do the same thing. We need to tell the people around us we love them, we care about them, give them a hug, because we don't know when God's going to say, "Come on home."